Welcome to Authentic with Brazil 201. I'm your host, Brazil 201, and today we're going to talk about the two big stories of the day. Hospice Joe went on The View to defend the fact that he thinks he's not a mentally declining old man and that he could have won the 2024 election. And we have an American Pope. So, you know what that means? The Bears and the Cubs are going to win the World Series because that's how things work. Anyway, for those of you who are under a rock or have no idea, Joe Biden was on The View today, and The View is the only network that believes the claims that Hospice Joe, an 83-year-old man who clearly has no idea what's going on, believes A, he's perfectly fine, and B, that he would have won the 2024 election. Obviously, both statements are a lie. Now, according to the PodSave dorks, Hospice Joe's internal polling, and also as well according to Nancy Pelosi, that Hospice Joe was going to lose every state with the exception of California and Washington, which also means that the House Republicans and every Democrat that won their Senate races, but the states flipped Harris, probably would have lost. Which makes sense because the difference is with Harris, they were able to distance themselves from Harris, but with Hospice Joe, the whole thing was going to be like, do you think Hospice Joe is mentally fine and all the other nonsense? It is really amazing that all the retarded women on The View, with the exception of Alyssa, and I have no idea if Sarah was like pushing back on, the Hospice Joe things, but, Whoopi, Sunny, Anna, and what the hell's the other? And Joy, believe Hospice Joe is perfectly fine. And Hospice Joe was like, I could have won the 2024 election. And then they ask, are you shocked that Kamala Harris lost the election? And they're like, no. Biden's like, no, this country's racist. It is sexist. And, it kind of makes sense. I mean, like, way to throw, like, that woman under the bus. Now, obviously, Kamala, you gotta love Hospice Joe and the way he is able to just throw Harris under the bus, because he must really hate that woman. Because obviously, he didn't want her to win. That's why, like, he endorsed her. Because, like, we all know Kamala Harris ain't winning. Was never gonna win the 24 election. She ain't ever gonna win the 28 election. The first woman president ain't gonna be a Democrat. But The View, wow, The View is just doing malpractice. Because The View ladies are not gonna have Alex Thompson or Jake Tapper on their show to promote Original Sin and the fact, that Hospice Joe was mentally declining rapidly, at least since 2022. And we have all the stories, right? Ezra Klein like did a tweet back in I want to say sometime fall of 2023 that like all the stories are going to come out after the election that Joe Biden wasn't mentally all there. We're going to lose. We should have said something and blah 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 blah. And Joe Biden's like, no, we didn't create a cocoon. First of all, you can hate Trump for all you want. I feel like I have seen Donald Trump every fucking day since he became president and even before he was president. Versus Hospice Joe was like, I want normalcy. And I want to ride the Amtrak and blah, 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 blah. Obviously, Hospice Joe is a liar. He's an old man who just needs to go away. And the idiot old people and the idiots on The View and the other retarded people that are still loyal to Hospice Joe. Hospice Joe is Hospice Joe. Okay? The man is stupid and allegedly senile and clearly ain't there. And my God, The View interview. Like, in the world where Hospice Joe was the candidate and somehow Hospice Joe beats Trump in 24, the way he was on The View, right, which is this is May of 25, I don't believe this man is going to be alive in 2 years. This man looks decrepit. He's like in every clip. These are not doing him justice. But you know what? Let him live in the fucking bubble with The View. That allows Hospice Joe to feel like I could have won and all the other nonsense. So fuck Hospice Joe. Fuck Jill Biden. Fuck the retards that are defending Hospice Joe. So basically, fuck all the women on The View with the exception of Alyssa and Sarah. Fuck the old people that are like Hospice Joe's the best, all the other nonsense, and fuck all the people who were like in the Hospice Joe orbit that like still believe in this retard. You're guess what? You're fucking ultra retarded. Next part, yo, we got an American Pope who is from Chicago and is a White Sox fan. And the fact he's from Chicago, that means shitty pizza is now the pizza of Catholics. I was really rooting for, like, a cat to become the Pope. But that's it. Look, I'm kind of like drunk, but not really drunk. I'm just exhausted. I had a night. I had to record this. I don't care. Like, subscribe. I don't give a shit.